Stream. Hallihallo, herzlich willkommen zu einem weiteren Stream der Schattengesellschaft. Wir tauchen wieder ein in die Schatten von New York, die doch sehr laut sind. Da gucken wir doch mal, dass wir direkt die Audio-Settings weiter runter scrollen. So, jetzt kann ich mich sogar selbst denken hören. Das ist doch gar nicht mal so verkehrt. Wo sind wir stehen geblieben? Beim letzten Mal. Es fing alles an, dass wir als frustrierte Journalisten in einem Café uns ein bisschen umgehört haben. Es gab Unstimmigkeiten in der High Society, der wir nachgehen wollten. Doch anstelle Backup von unserem Chief Editor zu bekommen, von unserem Chef zu bekommen, sind wir auf der Straße gelandet. Auf dem Weg nach Hause in der U-Bahn sind wir beschattet worden und als wir wieder zu uns kamen, hatten wir eine Knarre in der Hand, eine Leiche lag vor uns und wir waren wohl Vampir geworden. Wenn ihr Ideen habt, welcher Clan sich hier abzeichnet, schreibt es gerne in die Kommentare. Ich habe schon ein paar Ideen, in welche Richtung es gehen könnte. Aber ich würde mich sehr freuen, ob ihr das genauso seht wie ich oder ob ich vielleicht missgeführt werde. Julia, Night 2. Ich habe den Kanal als englischsprachig angegeben, weil das Spiel an sich auf Englisch ist und ich ab jetzt halt dann den englischen Text vorlesen werde und auf Deutsch kommentieren werde. Und vielleicht finde ich eine Möglichkeit, im Nachhinein einen deutschen Untertitel einzufügen. Once again, I find myself in Big Beats Burger. Damit, wo alles begann. Ein hermeneutischer Zirkel, wenn man so will. Familiar surroundings, faces I recognize, mood same as it ever was. Still, I proceed. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Das war ein bisschen fix. Ich weiß nicht, was da passiert ist. Still, I process it in an entirely different way. It all frustrates me now, or more precisely, makes me frustrated with myself. It's like I'm clinging to the remnants of a cocoon I've outgrown. It's the same with these cigarettes. Warum fährt er denn jetzt immer den Text durch? Das ist ja doof. So kann ich doch gar nichts vorlesen. Okay, gucken wir mal. So. Fangen wir noch mal gemütlich an. It's the same with these cigarettes. I don't need them anymore. So why do I keep holding on to them? Fucking hell. It's like I refuse to accept them something better than I used to be. Ah, ich habe eine Idee, woran es liegen könnte. Ich habe nämlich die Schriftgröße vergrößert. Und da spielt er nicht mit. So. Jetzt sind wir drin. A Vampire. So, jetzt ist es raus. Der Drops ist gelutscht. Dictionary updated. Neu, okay, gucken wir mal. Dictionary. The embrace. How a vampire turns their human prey into a fellow vampire for whatever reason. Like most things, the details are a bit more gruesome than whatever romanticized images Hollywood has shoved down everyone's throats over the years. Unless you think total exsanguination, followed by the replacement of your vital body fluids by someone else, sounds romantic. Kindred, a term of fellowship among vampires, though to have been coined after an arc surprising of some sort, but the Camarilla doesn't talk about that much. Sire, the one who makes your bloodsucker a vampire's name for parent. Mine was Karen. Child, what a sire calls his or her vampire progeny when they're being naughty, sort of like when an exhausted mom calls their kid by their first name. Also tends to be the go-to when somebody feels like they are out of the argument and needs to make their seniority known. Plural form is childer. Okay. Last night she taught me the basics of survival. Drinking blood, manipulating humans, bending steel, controlling shadows. Okay, wir haben also Geistesmanipulation, Dominate oder Presence. Bending Steel wäre ein Hinweis auf Stärke. Und Controlling Shadows auf Schattenspiele. Das klingt doch sehr stark nach Vampiren, die nicht der Camarilla zugehörig sind. Nachtigall, ich höre dir trapsen. Aber gut, gucken wir mal, ob wir da einer Meinung sind. Tonight I expected more lessons. Instead, she just told me to go out and enjoy myself. What's the catch? I asked, to which she responded, I might kill you if you prove to be a disappointment. There are a few rules I have to uphold. The Masquerade can't contact anyone I knew as a human. I can't let anyone realize I am not human anymore. I can't embrace anyone, and so on. The Masquerade, das sind diese Regeln, genau. Otherwise, I'm free to do whatever I want, but for some reason the first thing I did was come back here. Old habits die hard. Karen is probably watching me from somewhere even now. The way I understand it, tomorrow night she is supposed to introduce me to the Camarilla, a local society of vampires. So doch ein Camarilla-Clan. Ha. Obtenebration, Potence and Dominate hätte ich jetzt auf einen anderen Clan getippt. Turns out they are the ones who have been systematically ruined my life lately, all a part of some secret evaluation that I barely passed. Just imagine the reach they have makes me dizzy. After they destroyed the old me, I barely cared about. Karen rebuilt me anew. On one hand, her test left some scars that will take time to heal. On the other hand, maybe I should just be grateful. I'm snapped out of my thoughts by a sudden scream. Some douchebag is yelling about his french fries not being salty enough. Salty ist er selbst, so als kleines Wortspiel, wenn mir das gestattet ist. I think this is my cue to leave. Permanently. Goodbye, BBB. Hope I never see you again. Interessanter Ponyschnitt. Hat so ein bisschen was 80er Jahre Vibe. I'm destined for greater things. You see? Oh, okay. Was haben wir denn jetzt hier? The risk of swiping, right. This Tinder addict smells like a bit of a loser, a wannabe natural, a perfect source of nourishment. Okay. Dance macabre. Time to swing a little more on the devil's dance floor. The club beckons. Und retributive justice. A meathead bully and his unfortunate victim. I probably shouldn't interfere, but what better chance could I find to test what I've become? So. Wenn jetzt Leute hier wären, würde ich den Chat fragen, hallo Chat, worauf habt ihr Bock? Oh, okay, die Wahl ist gefallen, weil ich die falsche Taste gedrückt habe. Two men are facing each other in a dark back alley. One of them stands with his back against the wall, his chest heaving as he's struggling to catch his breath. Goon? People! Anybody out there? I'm being robbed! A brawny rugged guy is yelling at metal staircases with a theatrical incredulity in his voice. With a lively step, he dances around an older man who is having trouble finding his footing. Pitiful victim. What is this bullshit? Oh, so now you can talk. Good. Because I'm dying to hear what you did with my wallet, Holmes. Wallet? I have no idea what you're talking about. The goon starts prancing around like a Muay Thai boxer. He is smiling, but his eyes send a clear message. You're cornered, buddy. Don't even try to pull a fast on me. Come on, homeboy. You may be able to trick an average Joe on the street with your act, but a fighter recognizes a fighter. It's like an animal thing. It's an instinct thing. You've got some moves on you. You're like shit. You're like a black mamba. Lightning fast reflexes. He starts shadowboxing for a moment. The man's definitely got energy to spare. However, I'm like a king cobra. You have met your match, two apex predators, now locked in battle. Oh, so you're seeing snakes? That would explain something. Before he is able to finish, a sucker punch knocks the air right out of lungs. Ein Tiefschlag, was für ein Arschloch. The old man slides down the wall. Before he can even let out a groan, he is interrupted by a brutal kick to the chest. That's what I'm talking about. A fighting spirit, even when you're cornered. Ugh. Take a seat. Deep breath. Collect your thoughts before you speak up again. Remember where you put my wallet now. I'm pretty sure you broke my rib. An eye for an eye, a rib for a ribbing. Biblical punishment. It's only fair, homie. Fair? At least admit that this is some mugging. Wallet, my ass. You gonna mug the mugger? Still in denial? Okay, let's say I had about $5,000 in there. Give me $6,000 and we'll let you walk away. Relatively unharmed. So you admit it? Admit what? That is not about proper compensation. This is a robbery. Look, buddy, this is beginning to bore me unless you want me to go all Anderson Silver on your ass. Give me what I want. Anderson Silver? Ich habe selbst keine Ahnung, worauf der anspielt. Yeah, Anderson Silver, a flying knee meeting your solar plexus. The man, the myth, the legend. Ist der von sich selbst? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing, Western boxing, Taekwondo, Wing Chun and Capoeira combined into a single fighting style that can be only described as straight-up murder. I've been studying the glorious singularity that is Anderson Silva for years. Every move I have, I owe to him. So if you don't want the snake to turn into a deadly spider, show me the money, honey. Das reimt sich und was sich reimt ist gut. Summer 2013, Las Vegas. Watched it live on pay-per-view. Weedman saw through all of Silver's tricks, whooped his ass, broke his spirit, showed him for a fraud he is. The man hasn't been the same ever since. Ooh-ha. All the anti-show beating, hollow taunting, drunk on his Kool-Aid. Jesus, of course you idolize him, asshole. Ooh-ha. Jetzt provozieren? Ich weiß nicht, ob das so die cleverste Idee ist, aber gut. For a good minute, the goon silently looks down at the whimpering man at his feet, chewing his lower lip. When he finally speaks up, his voice betrays an intent to kill. Das ist sehr spannend. In vielen Geschichten liest man immer wieder, er starrte 1 Minute, bla bla bla. Sie guckten 1 Minute, tralala. 1 Minute ist verdammt lang. Also können wir das Ganze hier eigentlich nur symbolisch betrachten, dass er sehr lange sich ansahen. Aber 1 Minute? Nope. I don't think so. You know what, homeboy? Screw the money. This is a matter of honor now. My thoughts exactly. Ha! He raises his fist. You've got yourself a mixed martial arts expert here, huh? For your own sake, I hope you come back to talk with some self-defense skill, homie. So, genug pathetisch oder soll er mal runterkommen? Was ist pathetisch? Boosting your self-esteem by beating up an injured old geezer? God damn, you're pathetic. He jumps at the sound of my voice, turns my way in the blink of an eye, and immediately assumes a combat stance. His reflexes are sharp. Looks like he has at least This much to back up his old bravado. Wannabe Innocent Silver's face betrays utter confusion upon seeing me. He got no idea how I managed to sneak upon him. I don't blame him. I wouldn't be able to explain it myself. It felt like I became one with the darkness, my pure consciousness traversing a dusky dreamscape, jumping from one shadow to another as if they were different trains of thought. I think some of experiences I've had with psychedelics, every blink is an adventure. I was outside of this LA, blink. I was above the LA, blink. Now I'm in front of this guy. Vielleicht auch ein bisschen wie ADSler. Ich habe gerade das getan. Blink. 3 Stunden Verdammt, wo ist die Zeit hin? And he pisses me off. Okay, jetzt wird's ernst. The older man slumps down. Looks like he was trying his best to keep it together and gave up once the cavalry arrived. The goon regains his composure and barks at me in an overly gruff way. The hell you're sneaking around here for, chica? Move along. This is between man. Not anymore. His fists turn towards me. I'm serious, and an equal opportunity ass kicker. I respond to the threat with the brightest, most innocent, virginal smile I can put on. So, you're into shadowboxing, huh? Something comes over me. I can feel the darkness embracing me, whispering sweet nothings in my ear, pumping me up for what's to come. Reverse elbow, crane kick. Ich glaube, ich will ihn auf dem Boden haben. Low spinning wheel. I've always wanted to try this. I zoom in, duck below his fist, and sweep him off his feet with a powerful roundhouse kick. Das ist nicht das, was ich angeklickt habe. Ah, egal. It's probably the dumbest, flashiest thing I could have done, but I'm feeling more confident than ever. He flies into the air, only managing not to fall because of the wall behind him. I know what he's thinking. I should have blocked it, and he absolutely should have. Und also eigentlich kann man einen Fußfeger schlecht blocken. Aus dem Weg gehen, ja. Aber blocken? But instead, he just flailed his arms helplessly as if he suddenly found himself in front of an oncoming train, a primal expression of fear that suddenly and completely took over him. I don't know how I look right now, but judging by his expression, my best guess is like the gaping maw of some primordial beast. I follow up the surprise attack with another punch to the solar plexus, or at least my nearest estimate. Once again, the effect terrifies even myself. Looks like my hunch was correct and I hit the right spot. He falls to the floor, whining like a wounded animal, tears streaming down his face. I let him collect himself a bit and then grab him by his chin. Learn to choose your battles, homeboy. Let me go, for Christ's sake, just let me go! I kick him in the direction of the alley entrance. He staggers off, quickly disappearing from my sight. I check on his victim. Looks like he's conscious. Whoa! You whooped his ass, girl! But hasn't noticed anything out of order. Good. I was getting worried I might have overdone it a bit. That woman did say that keeping a low profile will be crucial if I want to survive. You all right? Need help? He managed to stand up. His smile is strained, but it suggests he's fine, or at least trying his best to seem fine. No, you gave me all the help I needed, and some. Thank you, miss. What's your name? Jessica. Ich lüge, na sowas. Thanks, Jessica. I was worried for a second, but this asshole bark was worse than his bite. He is probably in worse shape than me now. I guess that counts as a victory. I would bet he'd be going. My wife's probably worried sick. But before that, is there anything I could do to repay you? Where to celebrate, oder? I want to celebrate tonight. Where would you go if you were me? Celebrate, huh? First thing that comes to your mind, I want to feel alive. Times Square? Times Square, jeez. Get the fuck out of here with that tourist bullshit. I came here a few weeks ago myself, still haven't managed to see it, and I always wanted to. In the movies it always seems too full of life, so not so full of life at this time of the night, and not that interesting in general. Also, I think you just helped me come up with an idea. Glad to hear that. Take care, will ya? You too. Avoid shady spots next time. I probably won't be able to bail you out. And there he goes. Avoid shady spots, huh? Glad I no longer have to abide my own advice. No more worrying about being out after midnight. No more feeling uneasy whenever I spot a shady asshole across the street ever. Obwohl in den Schatten der World of Darkness noch shadiere Assholes rumrennen. Aber egal. Hell, I could start jogging in Central Park after midnight now. Not that I need to. The future's looking bright. Midnight. Dann Party Time or Victim Time? Party time. This club reeks of death, and I love it. I've been here quite a few times, but I've never seen anything this breathtaking. Everyone around me is whacked out of their minds, and as they keep dancing madly, the spirits dance beside them. Spectral silhouettes phase in and out of existence, becoming more visible the more intense the music grows. It looks like a bizarre ritual, a profane mass. I notice it's the voice samples the ghosts react to the strongest. The most suggestive ones cause them to appear distorted, even tormented. Okay. It's as if something was struggling to be born out of the harsh sounds, and the dead were hoping to be born alongside it. They are all uneasy, quivering with desire for something far beyond their reach, probably the same as when they were alive. Sometimes the living dancers spot their dead counterparts. It's usually the most manic ones who notice something out of the corner of the eye for only a split second, but never realize what they have glimpsed. Some apparitions dance to a completely different tune than the rest of us, one only they can hear, those seem the saddest. The spectacle is eerie, at times it's unbearably melancholic. Above all, it's beautiful. I keep on moving to the rhythm until I reach a trance-like state, and then something even stranger happens. Every now and then, when I brush against someone, a fragmentary vision appears before my eyes. A car burning on a freeway, an outstretched hand in the depth of the sea, a man jumping out of a skyscraper. A man jumping out of a skyscraper window. Oh dear, my English. Memories of the past? Preventable visions of the future? I have no idea what it means, but I'm strangely eager to find out. Huh. Okay. And then there are dancers like her, ones that aren't ghosts, humans, or even vampires, but something else altogether. Ooh, ein Mage? This new world is full of mysteries, and I plan to get to the bottom of them all. But for now I just want to dance. Wow, what a night! I watch Times Square from above. It's beautiful. Never thought this place could make me emotional, to be honest. But here I am, feeling deeply moved. Who wouldn't have thought? That one guy I saved from a beatdown will probably get bored of this place 5 minutes after an obligatory selfie. Also, I guess one's enjoyment of these sights depends a great deal on perspective. Ah, von da oben hat man bestimmt eine ziemlich coole Aussicht. In any case, I'm glad he gave me the idea. Getting up here was surprisingly easy, all things considered. Took more through than physical effort. Als ich damals in New Orleans gewesen bin, habe ich auch gefragt, ob ich auf das Dach des Hotels kann, um von oben ein Foto zu machen, oder 2 oder 3. Ist mir auch genehmigt worden und es war richtig, richtig glorreich. Leider sind die Fotos, die ich damals in New Orleans gemacht habe, bis auf die, die jetzt noch online sind, alle mit der kaputten Festplatte über den Jordan gegangen. Schade. Earlier tonight I started experimenting with this body's limits. I realize I can jump over small buildings and climb steep walls with ease now, and my whole perception of space has shifted. Okay. I planned a scenic route across the rooftops. I did my best to avoid attracting attention, just as I was told. Stayed in the shadows as much as humanly possible. I spot a drone from afar. For a second I feel uneasy, but I remember what she told me. Machines won't get a clear view of me anymore. Camera footage, photos, it's all glitchy out of blurry. Okay. Das ist eigentlich nicht der Fall nach Lore, außer man hat gewisse Vorteile. Und es würde wieder auf jenen gewissen Clan hinweisen, der kein Spiegelbild hat in einer gewissen Weise. Wouldn't take it for granted if I didn't try to catch my reflection early on. I couldn't see my face clearly, not in the mirror, not even in a puddle. My face was like one of Dali's clocks. Diese Uhren. Ja. Okay, also es ist... scheint mir nicht ganz... Also scheint mir ein bisschen kreativen Spielraum hier zu beinhalten. She told me to keep a low profile regardless. Someone might take note and track you down. She didn't care to elaborate, but it didn't sound encouraging. Suddenly it hits me that I might never be able to see my own face again. I won't even be able to take care of my looks by myself. And what about the long-term psychological effects? Ja, dafür lässt man sich dann alle paar Jahre mal ein Gemälde von sich malen. A knot of anxiety tightens in my stomach. Jesus, this is probably just the tip of the iceberg. What else is going to change? Oh, ja. Calm down. Wait a second. These past few nights have been the best of my life. For years, I was on a downward spiral, failing health, no future, a feeling of overwhelmed powerlessness. Now everything has been flipped upside down, a total paradigm shift. A bad ending is no longer the only option. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow. I forgot how that feels. Where it used to stand at mere seconds to midnight, the doomsday clock has been effectively turned off. A cold breeze brushes my cheek. As stupid as it sounds, I choose to read it as the world telling me to chin up. I can bend anyone to my will. I am capable of superhuman strength. I'm a master of shadows. I can do anything. Tomorrow night, I will be introduced to my duties. If everything goes according to plan, I will become a New York City representative of Clan La Sombra. Ha! Okay. Clan La Sombra war klar, wenn man den Nachteil sieht und die 3 Clansdisziplinen kennt. Aber nach Lore muss es ziemlich neue Lore sein, dass La Sombra sich der Masquerade, der Camarilla angeschlossen hat. Aber gut. New York hat bestimmt da ganz oft seine eigenen Regeln. Auch interessant. Na, wir werden sehen. Whoever they are, whatever that means, I have no idea what to expect. Oh dear, ich schon. But tonight is tonight. I'm free. All my worries from a month ago feel like they belonged to someone else. Finally, things are looking up. Huh. Wollen wir noch ein bisschen? So ein ganz kleines bisschen? Ja, ein bisschen machen wir noch. Back at it again at Big Beat Burger. Eigentlich wollte ich ja nie wieder herkommen. Naja, so schnell ändert sich die Meinung. Familiar sounds, familiar smells, familiar faces. Yet again, I'm recalling that night when everything finally seemed to change for the better. I mean, it's not like I wasn't expecting everything to go back to the old, depressing normal. Even in the thick of it, the rational part of me recognized my state as temporary. But with these sights, there's always a hope it won't end. Or maybe that an ego death will finally occur. Be satisfied, you stupid fucking bitch, I command you! Here's all the logical evidence for why you should be satisfied. Here is the obvious direction for your life. And here is a detailed explanation of how you should treat the people that care for you. No dice. I always fall back into the same old habits. It's like they were encoded deep in my DNA. The aimlessness, the powerlessness, the spiritual exhaustion, those goddamn fast food trips. The stupid fucking self-loathing, now amplified whenever I drink somebody's blood. Maybe I should just blame it all on the misfortune of my birth. You do the social climbing until you dissociate, and then you are just this untethered, constantly frustrated ball of dumb desires. Except I'm sort of immortal right now, and I need to figure out what to do next. Ja, das wird dir der Clan dann sagen. I watched this obscure Asian movie once. Eli Lima, Sabatani, starring Tadanobu Asano, one of the coolest guys in the world. He plays this Merzbow-like figure, a legendary noise musician. There's this mysterious virus spreading around the world, causing despair and mass suicides. A rich CEO's granddaughters get sick, and longs to die, so she spends a fortune searching for the cure. Turns out Asano and his friend, played by this violent onsen geisha guy, are traveling through Japan, searching the corpse-strewn towns and fields for any unique item that can produce beautiful sounds. As it turns out, the avant-garde walls of noise they create are able to heal the infected. The CEO begs the band to help, offering them all the money they want, but for some reason they refuse. Through a series of flashbacks, concerts, and vignettes, a mystery unfolds. Eventually realize that Asano's music is not just a remedy, it's also a cause of the virus. Whenever it connects with people, they get this hunger for more extreme, more novel experiences. And eventually they hit a wall. Nothing can satisfy them anymore. They lose their wills to live. Not even the musicians are spared from this curse. They know the end will come sooner or later. The girl is saved by a mind-blowing concert, but the tragedy is merely postponed, not averted. The last shot of a Jesus-like Asano silently considering his role as a savior and destroyer stayed with me. The form of the film is abrasive, little to non-narrative coherence, some weird cartoonish creative choices, the Japanese noise soundtrack, the very free-form and hard-to-understand weave of themes. But at this point, movies like this are all that truly connect with me. I am the New York City representative, representative of the Lasombra clan now, also known as the Night Clan. They are masters of shadows, who cast distorted reflection and make modern tech go haywire in their presence. Gucken wir mal, was das Lexikon über den Clan Lasombra weiß. That's us, the Night Clan. Others kind would call us Magisters, Abyss Mystics, or Turncoats, if they want to drive home the fact that many Lasombras switch sects in the recent years. Ah, okay. The way Karen told the story, we used to be the brains behind the Sabbath, a pretty nasty group working in opposition to the Canaria. They have since left for the Middle East for the most part, but a sizable chunk of my clan opted out and changed sides. Traditionally, we were entrenched in the Catholic Church back in Europe, but not for mystical reasons. Our path was that of coercion and puppetry, so pulling the strings of important religious leaders was just a means to an end. The Night Clan is also borderline Darwinian in their philosophy about embracing new members. The shittiest period of my life was fully orchestrated by Karen in order to see if I was good Lasombra material. They do not care for losers who just take it lying down. Then there's the dark. I'm still coming to grips with it, but apparently shadows aren't just absence of light to us. They are openings into some kind of hell, and we can wield them or even use them to contact the dead. The downside? We share a classic vampire feature in that we don't really have clear reflections. This also transfers to not playing well with cameras, and by extension having issues dealing with technology in general. Last year, a few months before I was embraced, the Lasombra had joined with the Camarilla, the biggest and most traditional sect in the vampire world. The two groups actually used to fight each other, but our leaders found some intel that made them reconsider their strategy, so they sent a diplomatic mission to parley with their historical enemies. The deal they got in Chicago was simple: an unlife for an unlife. For every Lasombra vampire allowed in the Ivory Tower, one Lasombra vampire has to meet the ultimate end. I still remember the name of the woman who met her final death, so I could begin my unlife. Her name was Hester Reed, a sworn enemy of the Camarilla, a guerrilla fighter who spent decades opposing them. She was someone with a far better principle than mine, from what I've gathered. Well, whoever she was, her execution by my sire served to convince the New York City elites to give us Lasombra a chance. Then they set out to look for a mutual agreed-upon candidate who would become the clan's rep in the city. My sire searched for someone who gave the impression he was more than appeared. The local court was looking for someone they could walk all over. After long negotiations, they decided I was a good compromise. Okay. They proceeded to systematically destroy my entire life, just to make me show I was psychologically strong enough to join their ranks. The turncoat special, they called it. Somehow I succeeded. And it eventually led me right back to where I started. Huh. I stopped writing and put my pen down. Will that be all? Und ich glaube, das ist ein guter Zeitpunkt, um für heute den Stream zu beenden. Ein schönes Stündchen. Sind wir tiefer in die Schatten eingetaucht. La Sombra. Ich hätte ja am Anfang auf Malkavianer getippt. Interessant. Also ganz, ganz am Anfang. Cool. Kennt ihr eigentlich schon die Vampire der Schattengesellschaft? Wenn nein, ich lade euch ein, sie kennenzulernen. Es hat mich sehr, sehr viel Arbeit gekostet und viel Kreativschmalz, um sie nicht wie die Vampire der World of Darkness erscheinen zu lassen. Sie haben ihren ganz besonderen Twist und aus Spielbarkeitsgründen können sie auch am Tag agieren. Was ihr besonderer Twist ist, wollt ihr wissen? Nun, sie ernähren sich von den Sünden der Menschen. Und mit diesen letzten Worten bleibt mir nur noch zu sagen, bleibt den Schatten gewogen und ich hoffe, wir sehen uns am Dienstag zum nächsten Stream. In diesem